I was skin bleaching for nearly 10 years. The damage that it has done to my skin, you lot don't even understand.
People that met me when I was like this, whenever they see me now, the next thing is, are you sick? I'm not sick. I went back to factory reset.
Why did you bleach? Why?
That man can just bleach.
Did you know that 60 to 70% of African women, African American women, and Asian women bleach their skin? And every year, millions of people worldwide spend billions on bleaching products. In fact, skin bleaching has become a multi-million-dollar company that profits off of people's insecurity and ignorance. And this has led me to ask this question. Would you risk your life on the altar of getting a fairer skin? Would you risk your identity and your heritage on the altar of fitting into people's definition of beauty? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the consequences of skin bleaching and colorism in our society today. And in this video, we're going to be narrowing it down to cultural and historical perspectives, social media representation, people's experience and personal perspectives, colorism and dating in our society today, and most importantly, the harmful consequences of bleaching. Skin bleaching, which is also known as skin lightening or skin brightening, is a cosmetic procedure which involves the use of chemicals and products to lighten the skin. People often use topical creams, lotions, serums, chemicals, injections, and this is usually used to improve the appearance of blemishes such as birthmarks, hyperpigmentations, and melasma. However, the majority of people that bleach their skin just use it to increase the tone of their skin shade, maybe 2 or 3 shades brighter. Skin lightening works by reducing the concentration of melanin in the skin, and melanin is a pigment that gives the skin its color and most importantly helps to protect the skin from the sun rays. On the other hand, colorism is a prejudice or discrimination based on skin pigment where a light-skinned person is placed above a darker person in society or societal status. Colorism is also referred to as shadism, and which it is used to describe a hierarchical societal valuing of skin tones on a spectrum, along where the lighter skin is higher on the spectrum and the darker skin is the lowest in the spectrum, hence giving lighter skin individuals more opportunities, more representation, and so forth. Now, let us dive into the historical and cultural context or perspective to skin bleaching and colorism. I am sure we are familiar with the porcelain white complexions of wealthy Europeans from the 16th century onwards. Apparently, it was stated that they used a mixture known as Venetian ceruse, a mixture that had the combination of water, vinegar, and lead. And I want you people to know that lead is a very extremely toxic, poisonous substance, and it can cause swelling of the skin, skin discoloration, erosion of the tooth enamel, and hair loss. Professor Shirley, a cultural sociologist at the Leeds Beckett University, has stated that this practice can be traced as far back as the ancient Egyptians, Romans, and Greeks, who discovered that they could use honey mixed with olive oil as a skin lightening agent, and they applied this mixture to their body and face, eventually making pale skin to become desirable for hundreds of years, and it was associated with wealth and status. After all, only the rich could afford to not go outside and be tainted by the sun. So you might be wondering, how did this phenomenon and practice transcend into Africa and Asia? The simple answer is colonialism and slavery. It was said that a white supremacist ideology which held that the persons from African descent were innately inferior to whites, hence making whiteness become more civilized, virtuous, and beautiful. So, if you had lighter skin in Africa or Asia or wherever that was colonized, it meant that you were closer to opportunities that were only meant or afforded to white people. So, in this context, light skinned slaves were separated from the dark skinned ones, and they were able to walk indoors away from the glaring sun. So if you had lighter skin, you were closer to the opportunities that only the white people could afford, such as increased privileges, higher social standing, and better employment, and even marital prospects were increased. India has a long history of colonization by the European nations, which included the Portuguese, the French, the Dutch, and the British. And this has also had a similar effect on them, just like it did to the Africans. Despite India's independence being in 1947, light-skinned has always been associated with higher social standing in India. A 2018 article on the importance of skin color in arranged marriages traces this back to the white rule, which led to the internalization of superiority and the power of the white skin, and inferiority and powerlessness of the dark skin. So, if your skin was the only barrier stopping you from having access to better opportunities, the obvious question would be, why not bleach? Bleaching represents one step closer to the social status historically reserved for white people.
I have this product with me. How big is this in India?
It is so big because every Indian girl is taught be fair, otherwise you won't get married.
Yeah, it is very famous. It's a famous skin whitening cream. My grandmother used it.
I would like you to, try this on your hand or something, and let's see if it has any effect.
See, not so lovely hand. And then you can see a lovely hand.
This is just too unnatural.
It's literally bleaching.
Yeah, it's
Literally bleaching.
How do you feel after applying this?
It's like covering my original skin.
Do you feel good? Better?
No.
This is so not natural. I mean, I don't want my hand to look like this. It's so fake.
I'll not apply it on my face. I mean, nobody wants to look like a ghost. I think relatives, they say a lot, "Arey yaar, iska to color down hai, iski shaadi kaise hogi?" So those things affect you subconsciously when you're like little. So I think that is something which should not be done. I really don't want my daughter to go through any of that.
Can you tell me why you started to bleach your skin?
It's like you growing up in school, you have mainly guys making fun of your skin color and calling you charcoal, calling you dark. So growing up, you just start to feel like, oh, okay, no one likes me because of my skin color. Like, okay, I see. So that kind of does something to your head, you feel me? And also we have social media. They do praise lighter skinned women, Latinas, whatever, pale skinned women. So that kind of makes you feel like you're not desired, you feel me? So, and that's why I started bleaching my skin. That's why I started skin lightening because of it, But I do have negative comments, people saying you hate yourself, you wish you were white, this and that, you're a follower, just a lot of stuff, but I don't really listen to it. I really don't care. I guess how society sees dark women, we're basically the losing team. Who wants to be on the losing team? I felt like lighter skinned women, they were more desired and they get away with more and they have more privileges than I did. And also, I also thought that, personally, I looked prettier lighter. And for me, I honestly I don't think it's a big deal because I feel like people want to be darker and people want to be lighter. So I don't see why it's such a taboo. I'm not ashamed of it because I kind of see the hypocrisy in it.
Being a lighter person, I do experience a tremendous amount of privilege, and I'm not denying that of you at all. I think what upset me about the skin bleaching is that a lot of mothers do it to their daughters, and from my own experience, sometimes your parents do it to you and you don't have the consent of the child, or someone like me could end up much lighter than I was in my childhood and kind of have an identity issue. And it's just, for me, it's a matter of consent.
And also, I feel like you have to ask yourself, what's the goal? The goal is to end colorism, racism. I feel like you changing your skin tone is just feeding into the cycle.
And some people just personally feel like they look better lighter, just like some people feel like they look better with makeup on. Why not you just tell everybody, love your natural skin, you don't need makeup.
Not being
Skin bleaching
systemically
is
oppressed from not wearing makeup, though. Whereas someone with darker skin might experience systemic racism.
It's hypocrisy, though.
That's
what I'm trying to
absolutely
say.
hypocrisy.
And that's not fair.
And I also don't think we can just ignore that there's such a terrible history of racism and colorism, and that's why it's a bigger deal to people when people are bleaching their skin versus when people are putting on makeup and yeah.
I think for me, when it comes to skin bleaching, I'm a lot less interested in the personal experience and more just like, why is this a multi-billion-dollar industry? Like, why is Dove, something in the U.S. that, they just sell bar soaps here, but in Asia, they literally are selling skin bleaching. Asia and Africa, the Caribbean, we need to talk about how this is like a capitalist enterprise that is invested in people lightening their skin. That to me, I think that's why it's important to remember who benefits from people lightening their skin. I think that the conversations, we need to talk about class and capitalism along this as well.
How social media affected your view of colorism?
With social media, light-skinned people are important and they're pretty and this and that. And that's the same thing I want to feel. So, and there's a lot of benefits that come along with it, and I want the same benefits. And I'm gonna be honest, I want the same benefits. I don't care.
First thing that came to mind was thinking about Lil' Kim and how so many people in 2022 be like, oh, you look so good when you were darker skinned. I'm just like, but y'all treating her like shit. Sorry for cussing, but it's the truth. She literally said all the people I was dating would leave me for white European girls. Y'all talked about my nose. You talked about my featurism, and just she wanted an easier life. So I'm just I think about why are there so many material benefits to being lighter? Also, how do we make a world where darker skinned people don't have to do this, don't have to. I think that I'm interested in creating a world or moving towards a world where we don't have these very clear straight up pigmentocracy, straight up hierarchies of shade that are rooted in anti-blackness, that are influenced by white supremacy, all of these things that are interconnected with one another.
Now let's talk about social media representation. Social media has played a significant role when it comes to colorism and skin bleaching ideologies. When you look closely in the media, there is an unrealistic beauty standard and representation you see. The platform tend to showcase light-skinned influencers and celebrities, or the ones that have Eurocentric features. There is also skin bleaching promotion and social media influencers advertising and showcasing skin lightening and whitening products. Hence, you see hashtags like fair and lovely, and I'm beginning to wonder, isn't dark skinned lovely too? This has ultimately led to the misrepresentation and non-representation of dark-skinned individuals in the media, and I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of talented dark-skinned individuals that don't even get chance to showcase themselves. Even if they are not usually in the limelight. They are always the talking friend who is always the obnoxious, loud clown, but you realize that they are not clearly the superstar in mostly movies or shows, quietly indoctrinating the ideology in our minds that blackness is inferiority, whiteness is superiority. It has also been confirmed that social media still predominantly pushes Eurocentric beauty standards, creating insecurity within people and upholding the capitalistic industry of skin whitening products. No matter how much democracy social media power holds, in the part of my world, and I think in most part of the world, conventionally attractive individuals with Eurocentric features generally do better on social media. This even applies to people who create comedy or miscellaneous content rather than a skin beauty influencer. Not only does this prevent creators of color from receiving as many opportunities as white creators, but it also increases the visibility of white faces on our mobile screen. So you see young, impressionable users who would possibly look up to white creators as the beauty standard, because obviously there is no representation of black or darker creators. And I'm not denying the fact that white Eurocentric type of skin color isn't beautiful, because it is, but there are also other types of skin tone that are equally beautiful and should be on the mainstream media. In 2021, Vogue magazine was accused of whitewashing the skin tone of the current Vice President of the United States of America, Kamala Harris, in its February 2021 edition. Kamala Harris is a black woman of Indian descent who would have no need to be portrayed differently from who she really is. However, because of the prevailing representational notion of colorism, the magazine resorted to whitewashing her image. In addition to whitewashing, mainstream media is notorious for using the brown paper bag test. So if a person is darker than the brown paper bag test, they are considered too dark, and some actresses hold this view. Someone like Viola Davis, who I stan, I really love her. She has stated that if you're darker than a paper bag, then you're not sexy. You're not woman enough, and you shouldn't be on the realm of anything men should desire. Can you imagine? I mean, that was her experience as a beautiful, dark, hardworking woman in the mainstream media.
Do you remember the first time you heard the thing that you are referring to as colorism?
The first time I had a little boo friend, actually, his grandmother compared me to the color of a paper bag and said that I was too dark chocolate for him and he couldn't date me. And I said, what the hell? I literally was like, what does that mean? And I came home and I talked to my mama T about it. And she said, that's a definition of colorism. And I was like, well, what is, you know what I mean? It was like that moment.
Okay.
It affected me in a way where I was just always uncertain of how I looked. It started to define what beauty was to me.
Okay.
In the entertainment business, it manifested itself in constant comparisons. When it came to like my skin color, I was hearing everything left and right. Well, you know, she's darker, or she's the darkest one in the group, or she's a really chocolate one. I would always hear that.
Was there ever a time where you thought, maybe I should try a bleaching cream?
I never actually thought to myself, I want to do a bleaching cream, as much as it was, I just want to be Mariah Shade. Because that was who I was looking up to.
Gorgeous.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
You're dancing around in fields with I was like, life looks beautiful.
We've all seen what's happened over the last couple of years with the Black Lives Matter movement. However, we don't really see much about colorism, but it's a massive problem within our communities.
It's been the said unsaid. I think that it makes a lot of people uncomfortable. And I think that if we make ourselves aware of it, then we can actually move on.
So when it comes to colorism and dating in our society today, you realize that a lot of men prefer the Latinas, the light-skinned women, or the women that have Eurocentric looking features. Even if they are of black descent, or even if they are dark-skinned, they should have Eurocentric features. I saw a video online where I think it's Lil Uzi Vert. He was saying something about not dating dark-skinned women because they are always very strong, they're always yelling, they're not happy, they're not soft, which is very wrong. I'm going to play the video here so that you guys can see what I'm talking about.
I just said I don't like women with my complexion. I like light-skinned women. I want you to be lighter than me. I love African-American women, but I just don't like my skin complexion.
Okay. Well, I like your skin complexion.
We too gutter. Black people, my complexion, we too gutter. Light-skinned women, they more sensitive, you know?
There's some dark-skinned women out here sensitive.
No, they too tough. Light-skinned women, we could break them down more easy, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah. That's it. We shout out to Chinese TV, already no floor.
Anyways, let us dive into the harmful consequences of skin bleaching in our society today. One of the main dangers of skin bleaching is the use of toxic substances that can cause long-term harm to the skin, and they include mercury, hydroquinone and corticosteroids. These substances can cause irritation, discoloration, and even lead to more serious health problems such as kidney and liver damage. Yes. Furthermore, the long-term use of skin bleaching products can weaken the skin, making it more susceptible to skin infections and other conditions such as there is high blood pressure, there is fatigue, there is light sensitivity, there is numbness, there is neurological symptoms that could include tremor, memory loss, and irritability. There is also kidney failure, lung damage, and greater risk of developing skin cancers. I don't think all these things that I mentioned here is worth bleaching your skin. It's not worth it at all. Unregulated skin bleaching treatments may contain dangerously high concentration of hydroquinone and topical steroids. When you apply these things together, these two compounds halt melanin production in your skin. Yes, because melanin is the pigment that gives the skin its color. However, in concentrated solutions over a long period of time, it could cause permanent discoloration of the skin. I've forgotten what they call it, but I'm going to place it on the skin here. And the skin will typically become gray, blue, and purple spotting. The side effect of mercury found in most skin bleaching products is carcinogenic, just in case you don't know. So a temporary fix of changing your skin tone can cause permanent damage. I'm not saying you cannot use hydroquinone or any skin bleaching products to fix hyperpigmentation or melasma, because I'm even talking out of personal experience. I'm dealing with melasma right now and it's not even funny. However, buying products from the over-counter tops or just ordering it online or just any random vendor you see online, buying it from them is not an advisable situation. Make sure to always go to a certified dermatologist, because these products that you buy over the countertops, you don't know the range of the ingredients that was put there, and these ingredients, they need to be used cautionarily. You don't just use a product that you don't know the mixture of, and it could lead to skin cancer or even worse, DEATH. Another downside of bleaching your skin is that melanin helps to protect your skin from the harmful UV rays of the sun. However, when you bleach your skin, you ultimately make your skin to stop producing melanin, and this could cause skin cancer or any skin diseases. Although the research has been inconclusive, scientists are beginning to believe that hydroquinone and mercury react with ultraviolet rays, and this could trigger more pigmentation as well as premature skin aging. So I mean, what is the point? I'm asking. So it is also stated that for patients that have skin conditions like melasma, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, should go to a board-certified dermatologist, which the person could get adequate treatment that are safe and effective. So I also do have a couple of videos where people share their experience talking about skin bleaching and colorism in their different society, and I would want us to have a couple look of them, and then we could share your thoughts in the comment section down below.
Two things that cannot be in the same sentence: bleaching your skin and self-love. Because if you are doing this, it means that you obviously don't love yourself.
Drink water and mind your business. Drink water and mind your business.
What do I mean? First of all, there are plenty damages of bleaching cream. Number one, it can lead to skin cancer. Number two, it can lead to reduced immunity. Number three, it can make your skin too thin. Number four, when you now get injuries, it is difficult for your skin to heal. Number five, have you heard of roasted plantain syndrome? You know, some places are black, some places are white. What I try to say? Yes. Number six, it can cause skin failure. Number seven, it can cause kidney failure. Number eight, it can lead to body odor. Number nine, skin infection. And number 10, if you're pregnant and you're rubbing bleaching cream, my dear, it can harm your unborn baby. A word they say is enough for the wise.
Every time I show you guys a picture of me as a child, I always get asked on how I became pale. And today I'm going to share my story and spill all the tea. Growing up, I've always had pretty dark skin. Like you can see, my skin is pretty dark. But I became very obsessed with pale skin when I was 14 because I was obsessed with K-pop. And pale skin is kind of like the beauty standard in Asia too. So the 14-year-old me was researching online and I found a brightening supplement. It was from a Japanese brand and it's a pretty big brand. It's pretty expensive. It's like $50 for 1 month's supply. I had to save all my pocket money and lunch money to buy this. And I wanted to be pale really fast, so I took double the recommended dose. Its main ingredient was tranexamic acid, which I didn't know at the time it can actually be dangerous and cause blood clotting if consumed in high dose. After taking the supplement in double the dosage for 1 month, my period stopped. And I had the most regular period before this. But I was 14, so I didn't care. I continued taking it and I ended up not having my period for 3 months. My mom finally found out about it and stopped me. Honestly, the effect of it was pretty amazing, but I do not recommend it at all because it took me so long to get my period back. But I have been using and I really recommend tranexamic acid as a skincare ingredient. And it's very safe to use it in the form of a skincare.
Oh, I just saw the hype on TikTok about skin bleaching. I have been personally bleaching my skin from 2017 until now. And I'm happy and I don't think I'll stop. You understand? What I'm saying is we can't ignore the fact that skin bleaching has side effects and implications in the long run. What you are basically doing when you are bleaching your skin, you are minimizing the amount of melanin in your body. Melanin also protects you from the sun rays because this is Africa. It's hot. So we have melanin to protect us from the sun rays. So if you bleach your skin, you are basically minimizing the amount of melanin in your skin. So now, as somebody who bleaches their skin, as somebody who has a chronic illness, who's on dialysis, and the real reason why I started bleaching is because the dialysis machine made me dark and that gave me insecurities. So I've been bleaching my skin because I am not comfortable and I'm not happy being dark-skinned, especially because I was not born a dark-skinned person. It is because of my chronic illness and because of being on dialysis. I understand that there are some people, it's controversial, people say things like, you must be comfortable in your own skin. Yeah, no. If you are cool and content and happy with you being a dark dindi, well done, Miguel. That's for you. If you're happy with your complexion, well done. You are happy, you are content, that's for you. You understand? We are not happy, and mind you, the skin bleaching products, get this girl. Catch out there, man. Get this girl. Am I gonna stop? No, I am not gonna start to make other people happy because of how they think about it. People put makeup to enhance their beauty. People get boobs, they get breasts to enhance their beauty. So why not bleach the skin? There are risks. I don't want to lie to you. There are risks with bleaching your skin. I will not ignore that and I will not even hide it. With that said, no matter how beautiful I feel and everything, we still can't ignore the fact that skin bleaching has implications and risks. You are minimizing the amount of melanin in your skin. There will be risk. And another thing is the fact that when you bleach your skin, there is no permanent solution to get rid of melanin in your body because it's genetic. It's genetic factors. There's nothing you can do about it. You can use. That's why I've been bleaching from 2017. It's 2023 now. When I stop, even when I stop for a week, I can see my skin color, my complexion gradually going back. So I have to continuously use to maintain the complexion that I'm happy with. There are risks, but I'm still saying even with those risks, the same way like the body wasted and everything, there are risks even in doing that. So people who want to bleach, they're comfortable with doing that. So you need to be comfortable. Shut up. Just shut up. You need to be comfortable. Anybody who's looking into, Babu, where's my zero spot? I've got a zero spot. I've got magnolia oil. I've got my bleaching lotion. I bleach my skin good. Understand? But with this video, I'm not saying go and bleach your skin. There are risks. I'm saying to you there are risks in bleaching your skin. And I'm saying even though you may continue or you want to glow or you want whatever, you must be open-minded. Because if you start bleaching your skin, you can't go back. There's no going back. Because now you're going to glow and look beautiful. And when you stop using the products, your complexion is going to go back to a natural color. Now you're gonna feel more ugly because now you've tasted looking fair skin and you're feeling good about yourself. So don't start. Another thing, it's quite expensive. The lotion is there, body in can't. You must just be careful. Understand? Be careful, and once you start, you can't stop moving.
Guys, let me tell you something. Being a dark skin in Kenya is very traumatizing. In fact, it is a very ugly experience for someone to go through. There's a certain group of women and men in Kenya who will make you feel like your skin has a problem. And they will not hide it. They will tell you to your face. Maybe you're just having a normal argument with someone, but the next thing utasikia will be, sasa huyu kanaringa na venye ni kakeusi. They will make sure they bring your blackness into the conversation so that they feel that they have won. You know, and it is very bad because now you see so many girls are bleaching their skin and you wonder, why are they doing so? It's not that they don't have confidence in themselves. They do. But the way the society in Kenya has made dark-skinned girls feel, they have made them feel like they don't deserve good things in life. They don't deserve to be treated nice. They don't deserve to have standards because when in mweusi, you are not supposed to do something.
I would like to speak on bleaching specifically as a result of colorism. A lot of times when we see people who have bleached their skin, the first thing that we tend to do is judge them. We're like, oh, why would you bleach your skin? You're already beautiful. Or don't you know the damages of skin bleaching and all of that? A lot of people who bleach their skin are aware of the consequences of bleaching, but we are not addressing the root cause of bleaching. Within the Black community, and I speak of the Black community in Kenya because we are Black, or majority of Kenyans are Black, beauty standard is being a light-skinned woman. We often give very disgusting nicknames to people who are dark-skinned, specifically females who are dark-skinned. Of course, if you have grown up in an environment where you're constantly degraded because of the color of your skin, you feel compelled to change it. So why do we judge them when they do that?
Let's talk about colorism, specifically pertaining to Lupita Nyong'o. So for those who are unaware, Lupita Nyong'o is a beautiful Oscar award-winning dark-skinned actress. And she's also a really huge representation for dark-skinned women as well. One thing I really love about Lupita is she doesn't conform to any European beauty standards while she's in white Hollywood. She takes pride in wearing her natural 4C hair and also staying close to African culture as much as possible. So in her career, she wrote a book called Sulwe, and it was a book dedicated to dark-skinned boys and girls. She unpacked a lot of her difficult experiences as a dark-skinned woman that I think a lot of dark-skinned girls relate to. Take a look at this next clip, y'all.
There's a part of you that still struggles with being unattractive. There's a part of me that will always identify with being unattractive because I spent the first few years, my formative years, not seeing myself as beautiful, but I don't think of it as being a burden. I think there's a duality in all of us, and we find balance when we're able to identify with both sides of ourselves.
Would you read for the prayer which was the prayer you would say to yourself every night, or a form of it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dear Lord, why do I look like midnight when my mother looks like dawn? Please make me as fair as the parents I'm from. I want to be beautiful, not just to pretend.
I want to unpack everything she said because there's a lot being discussed here. So she stated how there's a part of her that's always going to feel unattractive, and there's a duality that comes with being a dark-skinned woman. And as a dark-skinned woman, I think we all resonate with this because being a dark-skinned woman is like living in two different realities. You have to live with the fact that you know you are a beautiful woman who's always going to be underappreciated and viewed as unattractive in the world you live in. She also mentioned how she used to pray for lighter skin. And I actually related to that a lot because when I was younger, I used to get in the shower and scrub my skin so hard, hoping that when I would get out the shower, I would become lighter. And I think people don't realize this type of trauma happens to dark-skinned women at a very, very young age. And it's not easy to overcome. It takes a lot of healing to overcome what we've been taught our whole entire life. And I think it's important for dark-skinned women to hear Lupita say this because the world literally beats us down so hard and expects us to put on a smile and be strong all the time. We can have moments of insecurities and being vulnerable. Being a dark-skinned woman is not easy. And there's a lot of trauma that comes with being a dark-skinned woman from a very young age. And I think dark-skinned women also use confidence as a shield so no one can try us. But it is okay to feel as a dark-skinned woman, okay? But I want to have a discussion about this, so let me know what y'all think in the comments.
Anyways, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share if you care. Thank you so much for engaging, and I'll see you next time. My name is Sandra, and bye.